Welcome back to Wine and Dine, the show about great food, great wine, great spirits, and entertaining. I'm your host, Mark DeWolf. And in today's Tasty Edition, we're going to talk about planning for New Year's Eve. And one of the things I like to plan for New Year's Eve is a great cocktail. You know, making a cocktail for New Year's is not only festive and allows you to tell a story to your guests, but it also is great for kind of controlling how much money you spend. You know, you don't have to buy the full bar. You have a couple great cocktails. You can reduce down and focus on a few different spirits. So today I have Tristan Davis from Soleil Fine Wine and Spirits, and he's going to talk to us about a couple cocktails he thinks will be perfect for celebrating New Year's. So I think you got a couple stories, Tristan, for us, and you got a couple cocktails to show us. So tell us about what you're going to make for New Year's Eve.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on today, Mark. So as Mark mentioned, it's always nice to do a couple of cocktails over the holiday season. So I chose a couple of festive cocktails that usually in my past bar experience go over really well with people. So we will be making a Godfather cocktail. It's a little on the sweeter side, warm seasonal drink with the Canadian Club 12-year-old and our new Amaretto that just landed at Harvest. And then we will also be doing a champagne margarita. So it's essentially a classic style margarita, and then you just give it a little bit of a boost with some Prosecco. So always goes over super well.
So let's get started. I know you got a couple good stories to go with the Canadian Club. So let's start with that cocktail, your version of the Godfather, and let us know a little bit about what makes this one kind of unique and Canadian Club unique.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll jump right into it. So the Godfather is an equal parts cocktail, so nice and easy to make at home. You can actually pre-batch it all into one bottle and throw it in the fridge. Huh? So you can actually just take it out, and then it's a one pour serve whenever you want it. So, which is nice. But it's an equal parts cocktail with Amaretto, whiskey, and I decided to go with Canadian Club 12-year just because it has a lot of butterscotch, caramel kind of notes on the forefront. Just keeps it really warm for the holidays, right? And then we're going to throw a little bit of bitters in there just to round it out. Nice. So again, equal parts. So we'll just go. I'm going to make two, one for me, one for you.
Thank you.
So we'll go equal parts, 2 ounces of Amaretto and 2 ounces of our Canadian Club whiskey. So fun thing about the Godfather, it is not a cocktail that's as old as people expect it to be. It is named after the movie. Yeah. Right? So fun thing about it, where the Godfather is all about the mafia and the mob and whatnot. Fun little story about Canadian Club 12-year. It is based out of and all made in Walkerville, Ontario. So back during Prohibition, the great mobster Al Capone used to actually make his way from the States up the river and used to just post up at the distillery.
Well, I think he had a little business to do while he was there, or at least probably brought back a little for friends and family, I'm sure.
Quite a bit of that happening.
But the Canadian Club 12 is, for those who haven't tried it, it is a really good product. I actually use it for cocktails. I actually sometimes just drink it on its own. It's actually really well made. And like you said, I more wood influence probably than the coming through.
Yeah, you get a lot more of that American oak influence coming through. So a lot of those vanilla notes, butterscotch, some baking spice. It is a Canadian blended whiskey, so it doesn't have all that high rye kind of spice that you get from a complete rye whiskey, or even kind of like the overtly sweetness that you get from a bourbon. So it's a really nice middle ground, especially this time of year. It just plays off of a lot of like the baking, gingerbreads.
Yeah. But then, it sounds like it also makes it kind of like widely easy and accessible.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go. So it makes a good old fashioned as well. There we are. I'll just ice these guys. So now to finish it off with a garnish as well, you can always either go with an orange swath, but I like to, in this case, go with a bit of lemon. So my partner does a good bit of baking, so she actually made some madeleines the other day. Oh, and I found these went absolutely perfect with them, with a little bit of lemon over the top.
Yeah, well, I mean, like whiskey cocktails like this are no reason why you can't have it with slightly sweeter food items, and so if you're having a couple holiday treats and have a liquid version to go with it.
Awesome. So what we're doing here is we're just expressing the lemon swath over the top of the drink and just rubbing around the outside of the glass. So what you're doing is you're expressing those essential oils from the drink, or from the lemon sword just over the top of the drink. So a cocktail should really be like a full sensory experience. It's not just about drinking it, it's about smelling it, seeing it. So all 5 senses. Yep.
Perfect. Well, cheers to this one. I'm going to enjoy this, and then we're going to make another one too, yeah?
Absolutely.
Delish.
So for anyone that would like to try the Canadian Club, it is actually on sale right now until January 8th at the NSLC for $2 off.
Awesome. All right, so next we're doing Margarita, or a version of, yes?
Yeah, so this next one's a crowd favorite of mine from bar programs I've ran in the past. It's at the heart of it, it's just a margarita. So start with your tequila. So I'm going with some Hornitos Reposado here. It's got a lot of green notes to it. So you're gonna find like a lot of pyrazine, green pepper, black pepper, right? So it really holds up to all the other ingredients you're putting into it.
So that's really coming from the agave, those kind of
That is,
vegetable.
yeah. So
But this is aged a bit in oak, yeah?
Yeah, so where it's a Reposado, it does see a little bit of oak aging, up to 6 months.
Okay.
So ex-bourbon barrels, which normally we send down from Kentucky.
Okay.
Right? So nice in that sense. It is 100% made with Weber agave. So that's where you get a lot of those congener flavors still bleed through. And so we got, again, I'm doing 2. So for the single pour, we're doing 1 ounce of our tequila, about 1/4 ounce of a triple sec that I have pre-poured there, about a 1/4 ounce of a simple syrup. So for anyone that hasn't made simple syrup at home, it's really easy.
But a great base for a lot of cocktails.
Yeah, so it's equal parts sugar and water, and you can heat it up in a pot, or even if you have a mason jar, just use some warmer water and give it a really good shake until it all homogenizes. Okay, so we got those guys, and then we just need some citrus. So lime, of course, is our go-to for a margarita. So again, for the single serve, you just need a 1/2 ounce of lime.
But he knew I was coming, so we're making a little more.
There we are. Perfect, and then we give it a good shake. So I know not everybody has a shaker tin at home for cocktails. What I really like is that there's a bunch of stuff around the house that you can use. Some people say blenders. You totally can use that. I find mason jars are perfect.
Yeah.
So throw everything in a mason jar, seal it off, and give it a nice shake.
Yeah, like the principles, I always find we could spend a lot of money on these tools, but I mean, really the principles, even cooking or making cocktails, it's just about, dilution or chilling. You don't really need to spend a ton of money on all the accessories if you don't want to, right?
Yeah, especially if you're just doing it at home. It should be accessible to everybody, nice and easy. So we'll give this guy a quick shake now.
And you should do it like that. I don't know, it just looks really cool, so.
There we are. 2 glasses there.
And you are kind of double straining this, so this is just to get rid of the pulp, I assume, or any kind of impurities?
Yeah, so the pulp normally you don't mind so much. It's to take the ice crystals out. So where we're serving it up, and so serving it up means just to not have it in like a rocks glass, so something like this that you're not going to add ice to. Yep. You want to take all the ice crystals out so it doesn't further dilute your cocktail.
Gotcha. Lesson learned.
Just top this guy off a little bit.
And this is great. Villa Sandi comes in like a half bottle. So great for making cocktails like this where you don't necessarily want to crack the full bottle.
Yeah, exactly. So it's amazing for cocktails, great on its own.
We should test this. So
let's give it a test.
Cheers first.
Crisp and refreshing for the holidays.
That is awesome. So yeah, I bet you could do a couple little festive garnishes if you wanted. You could put in, but it's perfect as it is. So I want to take time and thank Tristan and say, go out, make some great festive holiday cocktails, but be safe when you're New Year's Eve. partying, just remember, get an Uber, take a cab, and be safe as you get yourself home. So thanks again. I really love this, so cheers.
Perfect. Cheers.
And we'll
Thanks
see
for
you
having me
again
on.
soon.
Take care.